Let's go ahead and get started here. So you need leads for your business. I know what you mean. I've been there. I've been there too. Picture this with me, if you will. What if you could get all the leads you needed at will? What would that do for your business? Well, watch this video, watch this live, and we'll tell you how you can do that. Okay? I'm Daryl Ballard, if we haven't met before. And on this channel, we like to talk about how you can have a successful digital business so you can escape the rat race and have the freedom to live life on your terms. And that's what we'll be talking about. That's what we'll be talking about today. Specifically, how can you get all the leads you want to your business? Now, we're going to talk about this more, but the best way you can do this is to get your own copy of the mass traffic blueprint. Hope you can see that. You can get that copy free by clicking in the link underneath this video when we're done. I'll put it in the chat so you can get it there. Or if you're watching this later, you can get it in the description of the video. Okay, feel free to do that at any time you want. Now, in our last live, we had a little contest to see how many times I put up the logo. Stay tuned until the end and we will choose a winner. Choose a winner of that contest, okay? So, how do you get all the leads you want? Well, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so we're looking at this chart here. I've drawn up a couple of things for you already on the whiteboard, and we're going to talk about the different types of traffic. Okay, the three levels of traffic. Now, it has been said that the key to having a successful business is really just two things: traffic and conversions. Okay, so we're not going to spend much time with conversions today, but we're going to talk about traffic. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and now conversions is important. And if you get the blueprint, you will definitely find that we have um, information there about conversions. We're just going to get rid of the conversions here. Okay, and let's go ahead and get rid of the one in front of traffic because all we're going to talk about is traffic today. All right, so we're going to talk about the three levels of traffic that are specifically explained on the mass traffic blueprint. Okay, so what are the three levels? Let's start with number one. Okay, number one, as you see there on that drawing, those circles, and if you have the mass traffic blueprint, you've probably seen this. If not, maybe you could see it when I held it up if you looked really closely. But level one is called fast results traffic. Okay, we'll go ahead and put that down, and then we'll give a few examples of that. All right. So one of those is the social siphon method of getting traffic. All right. And that, I'm sure you're all familiar with the social media sites. There are lots of ways that you can get free traffic. You can siphon traffic off of Facebook, YouTube, uh, Instagram, all of those social media sites. You can siphon traffic off of those. Okay. In Facebook, for instance, you can join groups. You have to be very careful. You have to do it the right way, follow the group rules, and so on. But you can get traffic actually for free on those. Okay, so that's one of the methods of getting traffic, and obviously, that's going to be something that's going to happen fairly quickly. Okay, let's do a second one. 24-hour traffic media. Okay. I think my pen got set to a large line when I was playing with my nephew this last weekend, but I think hopefully you can still read it. It's not going to help my penmanship a whole lot if I make it smaller anyway. Okay, so 24-hour traffic. Now, there are ways that you can do this sort of manually. You can go to blogs and all sorts of different places and contact the owner of that and have them send a message out to uh, their people, their list, and a lot of them are willing to do that because they don't have great ways of monetizing their blog or their YouTube channel or whatever. So they're willing to actually let you talk to their list. Okay, those are sometimes called solo ads. There are also networks out there. Udemy is one that comes to mind. But there are networks out there where you can actually buy clicks, um, pay a certain number of, say 75 cents a click, and say you want to get 100 clicks to your website or your landing page, your opt-in page, that sort of thing. Okay, so that's another one, and those can be very quick. Literally within 24 hours or not much more than that, you can be having traffic come to your site. Okay, let's talk about a couple more. Influencer traffic. Okay, now you can become, let me go ahead and write that down. You can become an influencer if you want to, but if any of you have tried that, you know it's going to take you quite a bit of time to do that. Or you can go to, and probably the easiest way, again, you can do this manually. You can go and identify influencers on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can use, there are networks out there. So if you put in influencer traffic networks into Google, you will find places where you can go and set it up. They've got, uh, business has put together a whole group of influencers, and they'll do a lot of work for you. Probably cost you a little bit more, but you can again pay people to get to their audience. It's a little bit different thing than sending an email, which is what the solo ad is, but same sort of idea. You can do shout outs on Instagram, for instance. Great way to get some traffic. Okay, let's do a couple more. Um, Display traffic media. I'm sure you've seen banners out there. Okay, you can get banners made for yourself, not terribly costly. Uh, Not a lot of people doing this right now. I mean, you see a lot of it, but not a lot of people in this space, the online business space, that are doing that sort of thing. And then, of course, the other one that always comes to mind is the pay per click. So on all of those social media sites, Google, uh, Facebook, YouTube, you can actually buy ads, pay per click type ads. Okay. So that's the fast traffic. And this is the most basic way to get traffic. And this is where everyone needs to start. You need to learn how to do this sort of thing. It probably will take some trial and error, but you can, as long as you test and track everything so that you can learn from what you're doing, what works well, what doesn't, you can become proficient at getting traffic this way. Okay? So let's go on to number two, and that's called strategic, and it's actually strategic scale traffic. Okay? To strategic scale. Now, this is more advanced, and you don't immediately jump into doing this. By scaling, you recognize that I'm saying you've got something that's successful in the fast results, and you're now ready to take it to the next level. Scale it up, make it larger, get larger numbers. Okay? Now, there are a couple of strategies we're going to talk about in the strategic scale traffic. One of those is CPA, traffic media. Now, CPA stands for cost per action. Okay. You are, because you've got an ad that you know works of some type, whatever it is, you want to scale that up. So now, instead of paying for clicks, you may pay for an actual lead. Now, you're going to pay a little more for that, but you can scale this because there are networks out there available where you can take this, say you want 1,000 leads per day. You know that you've got something that works. You've tried something that every dollar you spend on it, you make three or you make $4. You know, whatever you do, you're willing to spend two or $3,000 for 1,000 leads a day because you know you're going to make uh, six to $8,000 off of it. Okay, so that's one of the strategic scale methods. The other one is syndicate traffic media. Okay, now I'm not going to talk a lot about this, but again, this is uh, an advanced way of doing it. The reason for bringing this up is once you know how to do those fast traffic things, once you know how to do those basic skills, you can double and triple and a whole lot more your efforts and build your business in big ways. Okay. And that's only level two. Let's go ahead and talk briefly about the third level. Okay. And the third level is called domination mode traffic. Okay. Now, this is the way that you can literally dominate any space that you're in. Okay. And this doesn't mean that you're, you know, taking it away from anybody else. This means you are the top earner in basically anything you do. Okay. Now, this is something that, again, you're not going to jump to immediately. You're going to be very good at those other two levels first. You're probably going to be making tens, probably more like hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions before you're doing this sort of thing. But the point is, you can still grow beyond that. Okay. Now, one of those methods, and again, I'm not going to describe it much here, but that's the automated traffic machine. And this is really where you are getting other people, affiliates maybe, to recommend your product for you. You get the machine started with putting a little bit of traffic into it, and then it builds on its own after that. So you put in 100, it becomes 1,000, then 10,000, and then 100,000 leads all on its own. Okay. It continues to grow on its own because you've set up a machine that's doing this for you automatically. All right. And then one more that I'm going to talk about, and again, not explain much, but that is the advanced, I didn't spell that right, but you get the idea, data aggregation method. Okay. And this is really the top of the line. Data aggregation, that's what the big companies, your Amazons and so on, that's the kinds of things they do. They're actually, we think of them as selling products, but they're actually in the business of aggregating data to make things work for them. Okay? So that's our three levels of traffic. All right. Um, have you seen anyone talk about traffic this way? Most so called traffic experts don't. They'll just tell you to go to Facebook and put up some ads, or maybe point you towards a solo ads network or something like that. So, what do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you see the difference. Um, hope you see the difference here. So, what do I want you to do next? You're probably saying, Daryl, how do I learn more about this level one, level two, level three traffic? I mentioned at the first that you can get your own copy of the mass traffic blueprint. Okay. This is what I use to break through in my business in the last few months. And you can get your own copy. Now, you see what we've talked about here, the three levels of traffic. You see that on the blueprint here, but it also goes over on this side. It goes over into conversions because you can get lots of traffic, but if you don't convert those into sales, what have you really accomplished? All right. Now, when you get this blueprint, you'll also get an option to learn how you can use this. Okay, a crash course. You'll get a crash course on how to use the blueprint. It's completely optional, but if you really want to learn how you can get traffic, that you can have whatever traffic you need on demand, definitely get your copy of the mass traffic blueprint. Linked in the chat. I'll put that up in a minute, or if you're watching live, or if you're watching this as a video later on, it'll be linked in the description. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our drawing now. We're going to go to our random comment picker. Okay, now for those of you who haven't seen this, I am in uh, commentpicker.com, and I've chosen the YouTube tools, and I've put in the address for the video, last week's live that we did, and we have all of the comments in there. So we're going to get those comments. We're going to see how many comments we have here. Oh, that's something wrong in my address. Let me see if this is right. Okay, there we go. We have 69 comments. All right. So let's go ahead and pick our winner now. Now, not everybody put in, I wanted you to put in how many times the logo appeared, and not everybody put in comments. So we may have to do this 2 or 3 times. And some of you came back later and commented. And of course, this is only going to choose, it means you have more chances of getting your comment chosen. But if it doesn't have the number in it, that we're not going to be able to count that comment. So we may have to do this 2 or 3 times to get someone who has a comment of the number in there and the right number to choose our winner. Okay, so let's go ahead and go for it. See how long it takes us to find a winner here. Okay, great idea. This is L Pit Fit Wellness Warrior and says, great idea. Retention is definitely an issue. Thanks. Great comment, but unfortunately, L Pit Fit Wellness Warrior didn't give us the number of times that it appeared. Okay, so let's choose another winner or choose someone else to be the winner. I see people doing this, but I don't believe it gives you legit subscribers, though. Okay, good comment. But again, no mention of the, hopefully we don't have to do this too many times here. Hang in there, we'll find a winner. Raymond knows. Awesome idea, Daryl. Raymond, thank you for the comment, but unfortunately, he didn't put the number in there either. Shashir Kadka, thanks for sharing. Fantastic idea, Daryl. Here we go again. Let's choose another winner. Thanks for your comment, though. Great comment. Amara Tofolo, this is a great idea, Daryl. Thanks. Another great comment. We are going to find a winner here eventually, folks. Hang in there. There's a thank you from Sunana. Thank you, Sunana. That's a great idea, Daryl, from Kev the trainer. I've got a lot of fitness equipment I can give away as a result of these reviews. Thanks for your suggestion. Okay, but no mention of. There are some in there, I know, because I've checked it out. There are quite a few. Here we go. Deborah Lupian. I like the strategy and the element of fun. Brilliant way to intensify focus on your content. I saw 3 logos, and that is the right answer for all of you. So Deborah Lupian is the winner of our contest. Deborah, if you could, if you're seeing this or if you see the video later, contact me by IM. My Facebook information is below all my videos. Contact me and let you know whether you want to, do some sort of an interview or, you know, I can do a sort of extended shout out for your channel, whatever you want to do. But Deborah Lupian is our winner. Definitely check out her videos. We'll do a little shout out here as well. Okay. All right. Very good. So that's our video for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you want some more great ideas on traffic and how you can have that business that will uh, help you live life on your own terms. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here for you. And of course, don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when I go live or when I put up a video. And if you know some people, you like the video, do that. And if you know some people who could benefit from it, definitely share this with them. All right. I'm Daryl Ballard, and we will see you next time.